Fork the starting wrapper provided in the resources of this video. This is the FizzBuzz coding exercise. In this exercise, what you have to do is you have to print all of the numbers from 1 to 100. But there is a catch. If the number is divisible by 3, then instead of printing that number, you have to print out fizz. And if the number is divisible by 5, then instead of printing that number out, you have to print out buzz. And finally, if they are divisible by both 3 and 5, then you have to print out FizzBuzz. So let's say the number was 9. 9 is perfectly divisible by 3. So instead of printing out 9, the program should print out fizz. But if the number was something like 20, then it should print out buzz because 20 is divisible by 5. But if the number was something like 15, which is divisible by both 3 and 5, then it should print out FizzBuzz. So pause the video and complete this coding challenge. Let's walk through it together. So I will remove this, and in here we are going to create our for loop for n in the range of 0 and 101, meaning from 0 to 100, and you can give whatever name you want. I am giving n. Then what we are going to do is we are going to start checking for our if statements. So the first if statement will be if our n modulo 3 is 0 and n modulo 5 is also 0, then what we are going to do is we will print out FizzBuzz. Now some of you might have come across a problem. You might have tried to first check if n divided by 3 equals to 0, and if it is, then print out fizz, then check for n divided by 5, then print out buzz, and then at the end you might have tried to check for both of the cases. In that case, what can happen is if our number was something like 15, it will actually not print out FizzBuzz. It will print out fizz. Why? Because at the first if statement you are checking if the number is exactly divisible by 3. And the first if statement will turn out to be true, because if the number was something like 15, 15 divided by 3 leaves a remainder of 0, meaning it's completely divisible by 3. So it will just print out fizz and then go over the loop again. That's why you first have to check for the case where if the number is divisible by both 3 and 5. Now if this is not true, then we are going to use an elif statement and check if the number divided by 3 leaves a remainder of 0, meaning if it is exactly divisible by 3. If it is, then we'll just print out fizz, like so. And finally, we are going to check if the number is completely divisible by 5. If it is, then we will just print out buzz. And if none of these cases are true, meaning the else statement will just print out n, meaning the number itself. So now if I run the code, as you can see, this is what happened. So first we get FizzBuzz because the first number is 0 and 0 is divisible by all the numbers including 3 and 5. Then we get 1 and 2. Then instead of 3 we get fizz because 3 is divisible by 3, so it replaces that with fizz. Then instead of 5 we get buzz, instead of 6 we get fizz. And as you can see, instead of 15 we got FizzBuzz because it's divisible by both 3 and 5. So our program seems to work completely fine. If you completed the exercise, then congratulations, but if not, I would recommend that you review the previous tutorials where I explained the concept of the range function, and then come back to this exercise and perform it again. In the next video, we are going to be creating the final project of this section, which is the password generator. So for all of that and more, I'll see you there.